Yes, indeed. The dildo of consequence rarely arrives lubed. Good evening, laddies, lasses, and welcome to the click. You smell absolutely astounding today. And don't let anyone else lie to you and tell you the consequence of your smell will make their day worse, because we all know that it will make their day better. Ah, consequence. Speaking of consequence, don't miss out on the Gaycation Emotional Support Demon and face the consequences of missing your gaycation forever. That would be so sad. Speaking of consequences, there is a subreddit called r/OhNoConsequences, and it's people playing stupid games and winning very stupid prizes. And I figured we would take a look through it together, because what is better than learning from your mistakes? That is right, learning from someone else's mistakes. Enjoy. Mwah.
Oh, the Gaycation is too powerful. He even has protective sunglasses. The anti-sword armor. Shit.
I am supposed to be an adult man. Anyway, here's the first post. Farmers use tractors to spray manure on squatters to remove them from their land, reportedly after receiving no help from the police. Oh my god, there's an entire campsite that people just set up on a farmer's land? That seems kind of like presumptuous, doesn't it? Oh, and here comes the spray. They're trying to stop it? Okay, that's really entitled. Like, you're squatting on a farmer's land, and then, what? He's like punching the tractor? And then you have the audacity to punch a tractor when they're like fertilizing their own land. They're trying to ram the tractor, like, okay, nah, I'm not gonna win this. Oh my god, this is beautiful. This is so beautiful, I kind of love it. Okay, dear farmers, if you want help with marketing, hit me up. I think we can sell this as a service, like how to get rid of neighbor Karens or squatters or whatever. And we have farmers with manure sprays for hire that you just bring to whatever place you need to shoo people away from. I can see this being a thing. When police fails you, farmers with manure will be there for you. The thing that pisses me off the most about this isn't the squatting, though that is for sure frustrating. It's the attitude to be very angry that someone doesn't want you there. Like you're hanging onto the tractor, banging on the window and throwing stuff because someone doesn't want you illegally on their property. The entitlement to get mad when you were in the wrong is always the part of scenarios like these that make my blood boil.
It was kind of like a situation, right?
Still got it. Oh, that's a shock collar. That's the color that shocks dogs when you bark.
Where my dogs? What the? Oh, no, the first time. Oh my god.
Okay, this is actually a decent, like, awareness video. Like, don't use shock collar for your dogs because look how painful it actually is. I'm kind of behind this video. Like, at first, it just looks like, you know, a stupid video. It's like, oh, me with the bros trying, like, the shock collar we bought. But it's kind of good awareness, man. Don't shock your pets. You know, there are better ways to raise dog that doesn't induce pain. Son calls his mom to pick him up after caught speeding to his birthday party. Wait, don't tell me he's speeding to his 18th birthday party and he doesn't actually have a license yet. Oh my god, is that it?
Ma, you have to come pick me up. The police pulled me over.
I'm sure you're aware why I pulled you over.
What did I do?
You're speeding.
Speeding? I'm on my way to my birthday party.
Okay.
I haven't driven the Ferrari for a while.
Oh my god, this is such a mama's boy.
100.
He has a Ferrari, but he doesn't have a driver's license yet? Holy shit.
I locked the speed.
How? When I'm behind you.
Yeah, you passed that Civic.
Yeah, but you can't tag me.
Yes, I can. I have a radar in my car. There's nothing I can do.
You're gonna tag me at 130?
Yes, you're going 130.
Can I see the radar?
Yes, absolutely. Of course. I don't have to show you, but I'll show you.
I like how the cop is playing along. It's very entertaining.
The yellow number there?
But that's me?
That's you.
Officer, please, my birthday.
There's nothing. Unfortunately, there's nothing I can do.
This makes me feel like such a competent driver, man.
I'm on my way to my birthday party. Please, officer. Please.
There's nothing I can do.
They're gonna take my car?
Yes.
Officer!
Officer! No, not my car.
Give me the ticket. I beg you.
I can't give you a ticket.
Officer!
You went like twice the speed limit.
Mother and father come to pick me up. Ma.
Sounds like they're used to it.
You have to come pick me up. The police pulled me over. Oh.
Even if you're going to a birthday party, there is no excuse for stunt driving. This driver was charged with stunt driving. They're facing a 30-day license suspension, a 14-day vehicle impoundment, and could receive fines imposed by the courts. This is just freaking around and finding out. Like, I could see him arguing for a ticket if he was going, like, 5 miles per hour over the speed limit on an empty highway. Like, okay, fine, but you're going twice the speed limit in a Ferrari. Oh my god, man. I was also low-key hoping there to be another twist in the video where he doesn't actually have his license yet because he's on his way to his, 18th birthday party or whatever. That would have been really funny, but I don't think that is the case, sadly. Ooh, more reckless driving. What could possibly go wrong? Boop.
No! No! Damn it! I'm dead. No, my life's over, Sam. My life's over. Sam, my life's over. Sam is over.
There is this beautiful thing about human communication where so much stuff can be communicated with just intonations and reading between the lines that isn't actually explicitly said. For example, this video communicates very clearly to me that this is probably his dad's car, and he is either driving without a license, or perhaps under the influence, or perhaps both. Hence the "my life is hecking over." Man, I would love to see the follow-up to this video. That'd be very entertaining. Am I the butthole for telling my friend's dad my mom returned everything he got me for store credit for herself? So last year, my mom married Mark, and we moved to a new estate. We have a 3-bedroom house. My mom and Mark have one room, Mark's daughter Lily, 10, has her own room, and I, 13F, share with my brothers 16, 18, and 22. You have 4 siblings in one single room, and the other sibling has one room entirely for themselves? Oh my god. Mark doesn't want my mom to work, but he also doesn't give her money for us because that's our dad's job. So I was kind of on my own to get anything I needed. Wow, that sounds like a horrible dynamic to live in on every single front. Oh dear god. A guy at my school noticed I don't have lunch most of the time, so he started bringing extra food for me. Then I started going to his house after school. That is so sweet. Oh my god, that is so sweet. Best friends for life, man. They have been really nice to me. They take me out with them, and they got me a pair of shoes because mine were too small. They went all out for me for Christmas. I got 2 pairs of boots and another 2 pairs of shoes, 6 pairs of jeans, 4 leggings, 20 shirts, 2 jackets, a raincoat, rain boots, umbrella, new backpack and water bottle, and even hair stuff and some makeup. They also got me glasses, but that wasn't really a Christmas present. Man, stuff like this brings me a little bit of hope about humanity. When families will half adopt a best friend or something that has a rough time at home. That is so sweet, man, to see that people are actually looking out for each other and looking out for other kids as well. My mom took everything back for store credit, and she used it to get herself stuff.
I was kind of low-key being maybe your mom is kind of innocent in this or whatever, and it's just a boyfriend being poopy, and she doesn't have the means to leave or whatever, but she's a big heckin' stinker too. They all just suck.
My friend's dad picked me up the day after Christmas to take me to camp. He signed me and my friend up for cooking camp during winter break, and I told him what happened. He called CPS and they came to camp to talk to me a couple of days later. Then they came to the house, and now I'm staying with my friend and his dad.
Have your friend's family adopt you. You're basically siblings at this point anyway. Go for it.
He recorded everything he got me, plus he had me going to Target and some other stores to get a couple of things until everything gets here. But my mom is really mad that I told him, and she's saying I got her in a lot of trouble.
No, you got yourself in a lot of trouble by selling all your kids' clothes for gift cards for yourself. You got yourself into trouble. She just told on you, which is perfectly valid.
So I wanted to know if I was wrong for telling him that she returned everything. No, you're not in the wrong for telling him. I hope you manage to exit this household pretty soon, and I hope that your other siblings do the same. I hope the oldest brother, the 22 one, manages to move out in the near future and wants to be there for his siblings, so they also have another base to land, because this sounds like it's probably a nightmare for everyone, I would imagine, unless they're being weirdly favoritism as well. That could also be a thing in these kind of family situations. Wouldn't be surprised if it's this stinky and there's also more stinky stuff, if there's a giant pile of poo, there's usually more poo if you keep digging. But no, you're definitely not in the wrong. I hope you manage to get out of that household fast, because this is not gonna get better. I'm sorry your parents are so crappy.
Oh, no consequences indeed. This really smells like future no contact when none of the kids want anything to do with them in 5 years from now. It's gonna be great.
Am I the butt for switching to regular milk to prove my lactose intolerant roommate keeps stealing from me?
We're playing this this game. Hell yes.
Me and my 2 other guys share an apartment together, and we split all the bills. The only thing we don't split costs on is groceries. Everyone is in charge of buying their own food, and we don't touch whatever doesn't belong to us in the fridge. We put our names on everything so no one gets mixed up. This issue has been going on for almost a year, and I am sick of it. One of my roommates, R, keeps stealing my food. I get home from work, and containers with my leftovers are sometimes missing. They have my name written on it, or my stuff finishes too quick. My gallon of milk, for example. I buy almond milk because I like the taste, but it seems to finish after a week even though I've only drank once or twice. I confronted R about this lots of times, and that's caused a lot of arguments. He outright denies it and tells me I am crazy, even though it's so obvious. My other roommate and I carpool together because we both work the same early morning shifts around the same area, so I know it's not him. It's always after we get back home and R's already left for work that I notice my food's gone. My roommates also had a similar problem, but not as often as I do. I am guessing because R doesn't like what he buys. The funny thing is, R buys a lot for himself and is even more stingy about his food. He will literally point out that it's his when he comes back from grocery shopping and tell us not to touch it. That's projecting. That's just projecting. It's the same kind of shit that cheaters do when they start accusing other people of cheating, you know? Same kind of stuff, like, oh, don't steal my food, you little criminals. Are you so paranoid because that you are stealing food and you're assuming that everyone else has the same morals as you are? No, everyone else is a criminal. Not me. Last week, my milk was nearly empty again, and I got fed up. I went to the liquor store and bought regular dairy milk. I drank what was left of my almond milk and refilled the gallon with the one I bought. Oh, so it looks like it's almond milk because it's in an almond package. Oh, that's beautiful. This was to catch and prove that R is the one stealing since he is lactose intolerant. The next day, Saturday, we get back from work and R is pissed. He yelled at me that he was stuck in the bathroom for 40 minutes with diarrhea because of my milk. He was using it to make a shake. I only responded with, so then you are the one who's been stealing. He freaking exploded. Yeah, he admitted he was sometimes drinking my milk and eating my food, but he was more mad that I switched milks than the fact that he was caught. I told him I wouldn't have done that if he had just stopped taking my stuff from the fridge or at least told the truth instead of trying to make it seem like I was making it up. My roommate backed me up and thought it was kind of funny he got payback for stealing from us. It's a little tense right now, and my roommate told me R is trying to convince him to agree to kick me out.
I stole stuff and then I'm mad because I'm caught. Let's kick out the person I'm stealing from. That's the valid reaction here. Be on my side.
Little does he know we're both looking to move somewhere else together because we are sick of his poo. I told some buddies what happened, and a few think I was an a-hole for doing that. No, it's perfectly valid. Like, he's been stealing from you for a year, for God's sake. Like, just in monetary losses, that is quite a lot, not to mention the hassle to always, like, buy new things when you think that your groceries are, like, stacked up and safe, you know? So no, he definitely had this coming. Like, sure, technically maybe it's an a-hole move, but it's a very justifiable a-hole move, you know? I feel like I'm not in the wrong here, definitely not. He was taking my food and not even owning up to it, and I wanted to prove it. Does that make me the butthole? This reminds me so much of a similar story we had a while back, but it was someone in an office stealing food until they finally stole something with peanuts in them and they are allergic. You know, it's the same thing. Like, how can you expect to have, like, allergy labels and have, like, customized diets for stuff you are not supposed to eat but actively stealing? It's like, it's very much admitting to you just being a thief. It's like, oh, in case I am a thief, you should label everything appropriately. It's like, or just maybe don't steal, you know? It's extra stupid if you're, like, allergic or something. Like, dear God, that's kind of your responsibility, man. And also, don't steal. Am I the butthole for initially not believing my son when he said he was sick? I am a 48-year-old single mom with 2 kids. We'll call them Rachel and Vic. Rachel recently turned 18 and she has a lot of chronic health issues she's been struggling with since she was little. We have been blessed that she has a lot of good periods, but right now she's been having some trouble, likely due to the stress of next year's graduation and all that entails. I have been kept pretty busy making sure she stays as healthy as possible. I think Vic has always resented the extra attention his sister receives, which is understandable. I have always tried my best to make sure he has special time devoted to him too, but I'd be lying if I said Rachel's health hasn't taken precedence over everything else. I mean, I totally understand that it's probably quite difficult to be a single parent and trying to balance all this with limited time and resources, etc. But if you know that it's actively breeding resentment, then it's probably good to sit down with the kids and at least talk about it and have it out in the open and see if you can change anything about it one way or another, you know? Like, this is, that's not a good sign. About a month ago, we had the good news that Vic will likely be graduating early due to academic excellence. I was so happy and congratulated him. But I noticed that since then his behavior seemed to be worse. He was more moody, short with me, not eating meals I made. Last week I took Rachel to the doctors over a sinus issue. While we were there, Vic called from school saying he was in a lot of pain and if I could take him home early. I told him he knew I was at the doctor with Rachel. He got pissy and said some not so nice things about me favoring her. I mean, is it an emergency, the sinus issue checkup? Or maybe you can like help both, or maybe like if you have another family or friend around that can like pick him up, for example, or help out. Or maybe if it's just like a regular checkup thing, maybe Rachel can be alone with the doctor for 20 minutes while you drive him home. I don't know, there's probably many ways that you can solve this while still being there for both kids and not just like blowing him off and not doing anything, you know? Like at this point, it does seem like very specific favoritism. I will admit I jumped to conclusions and thought that this, combined with his other bad behavior, meant he was just trying to get attention. Yeah? Since his early graduation news hadn't given him enough. I told him because of his attitude I wasn't picking him up early at all, and after Rachel's doctor visit over, I went to work as usual. Okay, so you completely blew him off. You don't even know how serious the thing is. What if it was a medical emergency? But you assume that he's lying because he's starting to lash out because he feels that he's left alone and not even being properly celebrated when he's doing really well for himself. Like that sounds like something you should kind of make a big deal about. You know? Like, I understand feeling that you're torn in two, that, you know, you can't be in two places at the same time. But assuming that he is lying, and also not even checking if it's an emergency or not even trying to solve it another way, being like, oh, is there another way that we can arrange so you can get home, like another family member maybe, or some other kind of ride, or whatever. At this point, I can definitely see why he's lashing out at this, because you're like basically not making a big fuss out of his great achievements and when he's working hard. You're assuming he's lying when he gets sick and wants to be taken home because he's in a lot of pain. You know, this is very obvious favoritism at this point. Of course he feels neglected. And just to be clear, that isn't Rachel's fault either. She cannot help that she has the issues that she have. But it's also up to you as a parent to allocate resources, or at the very least try to arrange something else, or at the very, very least believe your kids when they tell you they're in pain. When I got home, everything seemed normal. But when I called the kids down for dinner, Vic didn't come. When I checked his room, I quickly realized he is genuinely sick.
Who would have thunk it?
I immediately rushed him to the doctors and apologized profusely to him for not believing him initially. I tried to explain that his behavior recently is why I assumed he just wanted attention. He said if it was Rachel, I wouldn't have made that assumption, though I assured him that wasn't true. It absolutely is true. Since then, he hasn't really talked to me. Was I really being the butthole? I think I made an honest mistake and corrected it as soon as I found out things were serious. What is that old saying? Trust takes years to build, but only moments to destroy. And this story gives me exactly those kind of vibes. You didn't believe him when he was genuinely sick and needed to go to the hospital, and you blew him off and even ignored him and just went back to work. You didn't even arrange for him to get a ride home nor anything. Like, you actually blew him off. What if it was an even more pressing emergency and you had just assumed he was lying? Like, this kind of stuff is difficult to get over in terms of trust. I completely understand why this relationship is damaged, and it's not the first thing that has happened either. It sounds like this is just the last drop of trust that has been emptied out after a long time of feeling kind of neglected. You're the butthole. He said if it was Rachel, I wouldn't have made that assumption, though I assured him this wasn't true. But he is right. You would never make an assumption that Rachel was making it up for attention. Imagine if the illness was serious and he was dead because of your assumption. Your neglect also is putting a wedge between Rachel and him. Yeah, exactly, that's what I'm saying. It's not Rachel's fault, but this kind of stuff will breed resentment. Also, there's been many similar stories on this with Reddit. So here's your future if this keeps up. He will move out and cut contact. He will get married and you won't be invited. And he will have kids whose lives you will not be a part of. So do you like that? Yeah, this is like a no contact kind of story in the making. It's just like a neglected child that won't feel the need to like give anything back in the future. So this relationship is probably good to mend if you really value it. And I understand it's difficult to like bounce both things at the same time and kind of being split in half, so to say, between responsibilities, but your son is certainly neglected, and this like last straw is certainly evidence of that. Am I the butt for throwing them out of a house that we own? Son and future in-laws decided to exclude his family from wedding. They thought son owned the house, not us. My wife and I bought a 4-bedroom house in PA that my son lives in. Our son went to college in PA, and I wanted to stay in the area, so we bought the house as a second home. We live in NJ and commute into Manhattan for work. We figured that he would have a nice place to live and we could come visit ever so often and spend some quality time together. We pay the taxes and services and maintenance on the house. Our son pays for his groceries and the house utilities. All was going well for a few years. Our son meets a girl and they get serious. We met her and she seems nice enough. They announce their engagement and she moves into the house with our son. Now for the problem. The wedding.
Oh, we're getting some wedding drama. I love the diversity of stories in these videos.
We hold a little get-to-know-you barbecue at the PA house. My son and daughter are there, as are our son's fiancée and her parents and sisters. We all seem to be getting along well. My wife, daughter, and the fiancée go into the house along with her mother and sisters and my son. A few minutes later, my wife and daughter come out and are really upset. They come over and tell me we are leaving and driving back to NJ. I try to find out what happened. Once we get back to NJ and they calm down, they tell me that our son and his fiancée, along with her family, don't want us at the wedding? According to what I was told, we're not their kind of people.
What do you mean? You're not your son's kind of people whose house you're literally paying for? What?
I was livid. I called my son and asked him what this was all about. He tells me that her family feel that we are not good enough and will embarrass them at a family wedding and that we are all uninvited from the wedding. What? Who are these people, man? Are they like some super elitist little buttholes? What the heck? I let a week go by to calm myself down and drive back to the PA house. The new future in-laws are in the house along with the fiancé. It appears that they all moved into the house. They ask me why I am there. I tell them that since we aren't invited to the wedding, I was coming over to talk to my son. They tell me to leave their house. I lost it and told them they had 30 days to get out. I tell my son I'm selling the house and he could find somewhere else to live with all of you. I go to a realtor in town and list the house for sale. I wouldn't give them 30 days. Honestly, I wouldn't give them 30 days. I would give them as little as you possibly legally can and then get a lawyer right away. This kind of BS does not deserve a 30-day grace period. They call my son at work and tell him what I said. Apparently they thought that he owned the house. Wait, were they just trying to get a free property out of this marriage? Are they just... I mean, not gold diggers, property diggers? Is that a thing? Is that what they tried to pull? Oh my god, man. Maybe that's what they were planning to do. You know, they move into the house, they have the wedding, they divorce right away, they buy out the son, the fiancé in this case, from the house, and all of a sudden they have this house to themselves for their family living. Is that the scheme? I get the feeling that that might be the scheme. Although if it is, the son is an absolute idiot. Anyway, he calls me and asks why I'm selling his house. I tell him I paid for it along with the taxes on it and it's mine. He was living there rent-free, but since he doesn't want us in his new life, he has to get out. I mean, that's pretty fair. What a wild situation. I tell them the same as I told his future in-laws, that they have 30 days to get out and then I'll get a lawyer and get them evicted. Am I the butthole for taking a hard stance on this? He is my son, but their in-law seems to take over and we no longer count. Now, I think this is perfectly valid. Like, if it's your house that he is just basically borrowing to live in while he is studying and stuff, now he seems to be working, but he's still living there rent-free, basically. And then he's, like, moving in-laws that is uninviting you to the weddings and pushing you out of the family. Why would you house people that hate you? I don't think anyone in their right mind would do that. So yeah, kick them out. Kick out all of them. They sound insufferable. And it's probably like some kind of house scheme. They're trying to get into the house and then, you know, divorce, get half the house, cash out the son because he can't afford to keep it in that case. It sounds like a scheme. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know for sure, but it sounds like a scheme. Although the scheme doesn't work because the son doesn't own the house, but still, that's what they assumed, so I'm assuming that was their plan. Am I the butt for calling the cops on my dad's pregnant girlfriend or maybe wife? I, 17M, live full-time with my mom. My dad was never even a part-time dad. He was a see you once or twice a year dad who didn't even devote that once or twice a year to me. Sometimes the only reason we saw each other is because my grandparents, his parents, included me in their lives. They both died a couple years ago. The last 2 times I saw my dad, he brought along his girlfriend, who I hadn't known about the first time, and her kids. The first time I spent the weekend with them, and the second time it was a day with them. The last time it was 8 or 9 months ago. I told him I don't want him to keep showing up, and he seemed totally eager to agree to that. As soon as that happened, his girlfriend started seeking me out. We live in a small town, so it's not that hard, but she would make a point to cross over to speak to me, and she would ask me if I would like to hang out more with her way younger kids. Ah, free babysitter. That's what it means. It's a metaphor for free babysitter. I said no, and I told her, though not exactly these words, that I didn't want contact with my dad anymore, so it didn't make sense for us to have contact either. She told me she would like me to be a part of the family, and to give it a shot now that her and the kids are around. I said I had my mind made up already. She just wants a free babysitter, man. That's it. She would keep seeking me out, trying to make me give them a chance. I tried to be nice, and I told her I just had no interest when Dad made no effort to be near me. She even started approaching my mom, who after a few times got so annoyed she told her to stay away from the two of us, and if she didn't want the cops and lawyers to get involved. She's just harassing everyone in the surrounding now. That's great. Then she showed up at our house a few times. She came to tell me she was pregnant. She wanted to invite me to a big family lunch with her side and some relatives on his side. She came by to ask if I would want to go to the park with her and the kids would be standing there. Oh, I hate that. That is people just putting on a scene to make you feel bad, you know, and then the kids are standing there in the background like, all innocent, and you feel like the bad guy because then she has already promised the kids you're gonna play with them, so you're the one turning it down, you know. This is incredibly manipulative. Super duper manipulation. One time she told them I was her brother, and wouldn't it be cool to go to the park together? Oh, now she's just lying to the kids? Poor kids, man. What did they do to deserve this? But she kept coming back, so my mom got security cameras. She asked Mom another day if she could take me away for the day for something special, and Mom closed the door in her face. Oh, so now she's also trying to bypass your consent by having your mom try to, like, get you to go away with this woman. Man, that's nice. I love it when people try to bypass your consent. My mom talked to her lawyer and the cop she knows, and they told her to document and only call the cops if we clearly ask her to leave, and she won't. Which is what happened on Saturday. I was home on my own, and she showed up with her kids looking for me to come over and spend the day with them. But have you spent the day with them a single time? Like, isn't it getting a bit weird when you keep bringing your kids to a place and no one ever engages? Like, this is just stalking with extra steps and using, like, your kids as, like, I don't know, emotional blackmail tools. I told her no and asked her to leave, and I did it again more forcefully before I did end up calling the cops. When the cops showed up, she was arguing that she's my stepmom and she's married to my dad. Not sure if that's true or not, and she has the right to show up at my house. Her kids were getting more upset the longer the whole thing dragged on, so they had to arrest her? Oh, these people never know when to stop. My dad got on my mom's case so hard about it, and she had to come home early to make sure I was okay and stuff. One of those times you could hear his girlfriend or wife crying in the background about what I did to her and her kids. Okay, here's a little life hack of mine. If you don't want the cops called on you and dragged away in handcuffs or whatever, don't stalk people. It's pretty fucking easy, you know? It's way easier than doing it. It's a very active choice with a lot of effort, right? Just don't do it. And she was that loud that I could hear her. He won't stop calling her, and she's recording stuff if we needed it. She checked if it was okay first. Restraining orders sounds like a good next step, to be honest. Like, both the dad and this new girlfriend sound unhinged for whatever reason. It sounds like she wanted a free babysitter, and then she went on this whole, like, stalker campaign when she didn't get what she wanted, and now they're trying to paint her as the victim after stalking people, and now, like, the dad is defending her. Get a restraining order. These people are insane. But they are saying I'm an awful person to call the cops on a pregnant woman like that, and I should have just talked to her. But you did, though. You talked to her, she refused to leave, that's why you called the cops. Actually, you talked to her twice. You gave her 2 chances to leave, and she refused. And also holding the pregnancy like some kind of shield. You can still be a stalker, even if you're pregnant. That doesn't cancel it out, doesn't give you the right to stalk people. Shut up. Am I the butthole for trying to test a girl's nerd? Throwaway account. I, 20M, don't think I did anything wrong, but it's marked as butthole, so I think you probably did something wrong. But my friends are all saying I'm a butthole. But they are all wrong, right? You know, this kind of thing that, you know, if you meet one person who's the asshole during the day, then they're the asshole, but if everyone calls me the asshole, maybe I am the asshole. But that doesn't apply to me, because I'm above it. So I have a group of friends, and we are quite frankly nerds. We met this girl I'll call L 2 years ago. The other guys all like her. I think she's great and she knows all about the things we're into, but I had a feeling she's not really one of us. After 2 years? You had a feeling after 2 years? She's not really a part of the group even though you vibed for 2 years? Okay, I put up with it for 2 years, but can't shake the feeling. Okay, wow, this sounds serious. I decided to test her nerd. She seemed surprised, but could answer all my questions. Until I got to Star Trek. This is the most fucking neck-beardy thing I have ever read. You know, where's my fedora? Where's my fucking fedora?
Actually, my lady, if you want to be our friend, you have to answer this quiz about Star Trek. Otherwise, you're not a real friend of ours, and we will kick you out of a very exclusive group.
I was feeling pretty confident, until she asked me to clarify. Apparently I misspoke and accidentally asked a trick question. My friends all jumped on me accusing me of being a butthole and she didn't need to pass some tests to hang out with them. and how I needed to get over it. What are you doing? Are you trying to gatekeep your friend group? Are you insecure about this or something? This sounds like a very non-issue, man. Another friend pointed out that I wasn't the guardian of the group. I got mad no one was on my side and left. I mean, that's what real friends do though. Real friends aren't yes-sayer. Real friends have the guts to call you out when you are in the wrong. Real friends are there to actually give you feedback so you can also grow as a person. Those are the kind of people you actually want to keep around. You want people to be yes-sayers when you're acting like a piece of poo-poo bully? Really? Quarantine happened shortly after, and I recently found out they had been all chatting with her. I told her I didn't appreciate her trying to steal my friends. No, you're the one who's alienating your friends by being a stinker. She's not stealing anyone. She never replied, but one of my friends bished at me for a while. I got mad no one was listening to me and said, "It's her or me?" He said her. Well, that was easy. None of my other friends have been messaging me since. My brother says I was trying to be king of the nerds and gatekeeping and should apologize. I don't think I have anything to apologize for, and they should apologize for not hearing me out. Okay, so you are actually trying to gatekeep someone in the group and trying to be in charge of the whole social circle and be like, "Oh, I'll kick you out if you don't get these questions about Star Trek wrong." And then you expect people to be on board with that kind of vibe? Like, who are you gonna do it next time to? Someone who didn't agree with, like, the f***ing board game you wanted to play, and you're gonna get some quiz for them, and if they don't pass, you're gonna kick them out of the friend group? No one wants to deal with someone like you. You're toxic as fuck. So tell me, am I the asshole for just trying to make sure Elle was actually a nerd like us? Ugh. ETA, I know I shouldn't have posted on here. You guys don't get it. It's like, am I the asshole? You think I'm the asshole? I know you wouldn't get it. You're not really looking for feedback, are you? I am not going to apologize for being suspicious of her intentions and being angry my so-called friends bailed on me for some chick they've only known 2 years. I was not gatekeeping. I was just trying to make sure she wasn't trying to be trendy. Screw this. I won't be back. Screw this, I won't be back. People called me a butthole. When I'm a butthole, my friends think I'm a butthole. The whole of internet thinks I'm a butthole. But I still don't think I am. The entire world is wrong. You're the butthole. You sound like the typical neckbeard who would do this kind of stupid shit. Everyone else gets along with her. What kind of person tries to test someone 2 years after they joined a friend group? Clearly, if she didn't fit in with the group, everyone else would have rejected her. It sounds like you're the one that doesn't fit and can't socialize normally. It sounds like a weird power play over your friend group or jealousy. I don't know, man. It's super weird, and I think the friend group is better off without this person. Am I the butt for kicking my daughter out after what she did? I have 2 daughters. One is 33 and the other is 31. 31 got married a couple of months ago. 31 had a hard time in life. She had surgery and got addicted to opioids at 15. So now you're gonna hold a teenage mistake over her for the rest of her life. Is that where this is going? She struggled through school for a while. Ended up doing a crap ton of things she wasn't proud of. But once we managed to get her proper help, she was fine again. Oh, that's super nice. You had a support network and managed to get through it. Hell yeah. In context, the things she did while an addict were really bad. I'm talking ruining family reunions, causing arguments around the house, the works. One example is when 33 was graduating. 31 didn't want to go, and instead we both go without her. But this was when she was at the height of her addiction, so we called her grandparents to watch her, and they would take 10 minutes to get to the house. She warned us that if she went, she might make a scene. But 33 told her to just shut up and come, and she should at least be able to sit through one of the most important moments of her life. I mean, that also sounds pretty self-aware for like an addict, to be honest. They know they're not in a good place and saying like, hey, I don't know if I'm gonna deal with this situation in a healthy way, so I'm actually gonna stay away so I don't cause a scene on someone else's special day. I mean, for an addict, that sounds surprisingly responsible and empathetic, you know? I would probably just let them stay behind if they were truly feeling that bad. Well, she ended up projectile vomiting all over the next 2 rows, then proceeded to break down and wail cry because of the embarrassment. Oh, why did you push her to go? Oh my god. I left with her while my husband stayed to support 33. Obviously, her sister was furious at her, and when we got home, she promised 31 that when her graduation came, she would ruin it for her. Okay, so this person is going through basically what I'm assuming is withdrawal. They know they're not in the good place and want to do the good thing of like, hey, I don't want to come to this thing because I'm afraid I might ruin it because I feel like poo. People push her to go. She goes, feels like crap, and it makes a scene. And now everyone wants to take out their vengeance on her. I don't know, man. Out of all the ways to like help a recovering addict, being vengeful is probably not one of the recommended ways, I would imagine. 31 had been off drugs for long before her graduation and begged us not to let 33 come. We obliged and told 33 to stay at home or do something else. She was not welcome at the graduation, and the graduation went fine. There were a ton more incidents in the 2 years where she was an addict, but in the end she got clean, went to a good college, and got a great job. I mean, that's super good. That sounds like teenager mistakes, and that can certainly put a toll on the family. Don't get me wrong, addiction is really, really bad and it can tear apart families. But it does sound like it had a kind of happy ending, and it would be nice if no one held a grudge over it because, you know, they've also gotten clean since. She is well past her addiction now. Now, because 33 never got to ruin her sister's graduation, she's been waiting for another big life moment for her to ruin. What kind of fucking attitude is this? Okay, look, depending on what happens, right? I can totally understand someone not letting, for example, someone who used to be an addict back in their life. You know, depending on what had happened, I have seen addiction tear families apart, and it can be really nasty. Addictions are incredibly difficult, and it can be difficult for multiple people. Like, that would be like, okay, fine, you never really got over this stuff, or you don't really trust people to let them in close or whatever. Like, okay, fine, that's on you, that's your decision. But seeking them out to ruin something because they were in a bad place, like what, 10 years ago? Come on, man. Really? That is the pettiest fucking shit. And also on top of that, the sister actually wanted to stay home from the graduation because she knew she wasn't in a good place, but you forced her to go, and then the scene happened. So like, it's also on you, you know? Like, you contributed to the ruining of this day. Like, bruh. If it's relevant, 33 never got to go to college, so that high school graduation was her only graduation. 31 graduated from college, but only me and her father were able to go because of the distance. Now, the moment that 33 had dedicated herself to ruining is her wedding. Hey, sis, remember when you were like 15 and you were going through withdrawal and threw up? You know, when we forced you to go to a high school graduation. I'm going to hold that over you and ruin your wedding 15 years later. Are you fucking kidding me? This is the pettiest fucking shit I have read in a long time. 31 is often sensitive at life events, and she has some issues she is working through with a therapist on the side. 31 thought that 33 would be over the high school graduation issue. It's half a lifetime ago, and also, it's a high school graduation, man. I don't know, for us it was just an excuse to drink beer, you know? It ain't that fucking deep. And at 33, pretended like she was. Wait a second, did you know this? Did you know this and didn't warn 31 that the older sister was planning to destroy her wedding? Is this like a thing you're saying in retrospect? Or did you know this, but didn't like have your sister's back to make sure the wedding wasn't ruined? Oh my, that is really bad in that case. In the dressing room, right before 31 was meant to walk down the aisle, 33 took her aside and started insulting everything about her. I had gone to the bathroom at this time. She called her fat, she said her dress made her look like a pathetic slut, that her husband was constantly looking at other women's asses. She went on and on until 31 was on the ground in tears. Her makeup was ruined. No one was there to fix it, and the wedding was ruined. 31 walked down the aisle, still crying. After this, I told the family what 33 had done, and no one is talking to her. I kicked her out and told her to come back, not come back I guess, because she's a vile human being who can't let anything go. She has nowhere else to go now because she can't afford any other house. Am I the butthole? From the picture you've painted here, it sounds like you've alienated 33 for the last 15 years or so, while giving 31 the extra attention and support she needed. And it sounds like you've consistently, all three of you, sided against 33 on every issue. While I never would have done what she did, I honestly can't say I wouldn't be harboring serious resentment against all three of you as well if I'd been in 33's position. You straight up said she wasn't wanted at her sister's graduation. Whatever she was feeling over the embarrassment 31 cost her at what sounds like the only major event she's ever been about her, you don't think that seriously compounded the issue. Damn, you're the butthole. I'm not sure if I agree with these comments, man. Like I said, if you want, for example, to be further away from someone who used to be an addict and made your life more difficult, that is perfectly valid. Like if 33 just said like, you know what, they were very complicated, they caused issues in the past, I don't trust that they're not gonna relapse, I don't feel like it's my problem. Perfectly valid. But I don't know, being vengeful for years and years and years about it, and like trying to ruin someone's wedding because they were going through withdrawal when they were like 15? Come on, man. That is so fucking petty. I don't think I agree with this comment. Like, I think the parents could probably have done more as well, but the older sister also did say they were aiming to destroy the graduation. And it's like, I probably wouldn't invite someone to my graduation when they had explicitly said they were gonna ruin it for like petty vengeance. Like, I don't know, man. Like, 33 is a really vengeful person. to be honest. And maybe the parents could have done more to get in between it. I don't know, it sounds like there's so many people in this that are just bad at de-escalating or letting things go. It's like kind of like eye for an eye sort of logic, but it just ends up with people taking eyeballs in like forever, you know? It's just, I don't know, man. I'm just so glad I don't have to be there. Dear God. And also, I think another thing that is important to point out that I don't really agree with this comment, it's not the younger sister's fault that the older sister didn't have any other important life events. So, like, then it's valid to hold it over her head that she threw up at a high school graduation. That's not really how this works, you know, and there's nothing that says that there won't be any more life events in the future. You're 33, not dead, okay? So, I don't know, this has really weird vibes, both in the comments and in the story. I'm just glad I don't have to be there, man. Am I the butthole for wanting my daughter to be with me when I am available? I, 30F, have a 5-year-old daughter, Annie, with my ex Daniel, 28M. We have a 50-50 agreement with a 5-2-2-5 schedule. Daniel has a girlfriend, Jessie, 25F, who I cannot stand. We do not get along and she has manipulated my daughter into liking her more. They both have. She sometimes doesn't even want to speak to me or come to my house when their time is up. But once she's here, she loves being with mommy. I've tried getting along with this girl, but she has played the victim so much that my ex claims I'm mistreating her when I am not. I think we need more context to all of this kind of stuff, man. Like, what exactly is happening and how did they get her to like her more? Like, this is incredibly vague, all of it. I just wants what's best for my daughter, and she just wants to cause a rift between us. Sometimes during his custody days, Annie is left alone with Jessie when I am available, and that is not fair. Wait, what? It's his custody days, though. So what they do in their household is actually up to them. What do you mean? You're saying that you should get the custody days because, like, I don't know, the dad is running errands or something like that and the stepmom is home? Like, it's still the family, though. It's that side of the custody. What do you mean? I asked for right of first refusal, but Daniel refused to add it to our agreement, so they wouldn't put it in since we already are high conflict. I had a day off and Jessie took Anne to the carnival with her cousin, so I couldn't see my daughter. But wait, what do you mean couldn't see your daughter? It's still their custody day. So of course your daughter is gonna be with the side of the family that has that custody day. What do you mean? I showed up to the carnival with the police and demanded my child back. Annie started crying, wanted to stay with Jessie, and just kept apologizing to her saying, just go have fun with mommy, daddy will get you later. She texted me that I was being evil and that my ex say it's not fair to alienate Annie from his other family members, which includes her future stepmom. I mean, you did show up with police on a custody day that isn't yours to drag away your daughter from like the other half of her family. What are you trying to do? Like part of having kids and then being divorced, you are gonna have like step-parents and stuff on the other side of it. And your priority should be for your child to be happy and get along with everyone and feel included and feel like they have two homes, you know, and feel warm and welcome in both. That doesn't sound like your aim here. It sounds like your daughter was actually having a perfectly fun time at the carnival and you ruined the day and also overstepping your custody agreement. Like, you are the one causing issues here. And claims he's going to take me to court, but no court system is going to say, send Annie with someone else when her mom is free. I mean, I don't know that much about custody laws, especially not in different countries, but I would assume that, like, when the stepmom is in the picture at home, you're not expecting the other parent to come pick the child up just because the dad is running errands or whatever, you know. It's like, it gets ridiculous after a certain point, you know. The family is bigger than only the parents. Edit, to everyone calling me jealous, I am not jealous of her or of their relationship, I left him. Okay. Info, Jessie has been in Anne's life since she was 2. Okay, so she's basically grown up with her. Edit 2, Jessie is a stay-at-home mom for Annie when she's there, so she gets to spend more time with Annie than both of her real parents combined. Until Annie starts school in the fall. Her schedule is incredibly flexible, which means she doesn't have to plan things for days she knows I am free. Edit 3. You guys can stop private messaging me and tell me how awful I am, I get it. I do love my daughter and thought I was doing the right thing, but I guess I wasn't. You don't have to harass me about it and call me an abusive mother. You know, this is the kind of that kind of like low-key traumatizes your kids, though. You show up with police to drag them away from like a carnival day? Bro, this is insane. Honestly, talk to someone about it, because it sounds like you're stirring up a lot of issues and the person who's gonna suffer from it the most is your daughter. OP, I want what's best for my daughter. Also OP, shows up with police to drag her daughter away from a carnival, causing her to cry because your daughter like her stepmom. I wonder why. Yeah, like the whole thing about like they're making my daughter like them more. I don't think anyone has to try to make anyone like anyone else more. If anyone shows up and drags them away with police and stuff like that, you're kind of making yourself the villain, and you're pretty good at it. You're the butthole. Are you stalking him? How did you even know they were at the carnival? You're divorced. This woman will be a stepmother to your child. You don't have to like it, but you darn well owe it to your child to go along with it. When you don't have custody, you have zero right to the child or say in what they do. To call the police is absolutely despicable. I wonder if that can be charged as well, because you kind of like overstepped, legal bounds when it comes to that sort of stuff, doesn't it? Your child wasn't suffering any harm. You harmed your child by making a scene and having the police show up.
Oh, I have a good reaction image for this.
Alright. Flooded again. Yay. Am I the butthole for telling my mom she can't share a room or bed with her boyfriend in my home?
Is this like a unireverse because they were super strict when you were younger? Oh, please tell me it is.
When I, 27F, was in college, I met my boyfriend, and we moved in together, sharing a place with some friends, after dating for a year. I was 19 when we met, and 20 when we moved in together. We decided from that point onward to take turns spending Christmas with our families. But the first year, we were supposed to see mine. My mom made it clear my boyfriend could not stay, and we weren't sharing a room or bed in her house. My dad argued in favor of letting it happen since I was an adult and living with him already, but my mom said no. Yeah, that is incredibly silly. I guess it's some kind of like religious background where it's like you're not technically married yet, even though you literally sleep in the same bed every other day of the week, but hoopty-doopty. She hated that I wouldn't stay at their house and then instead booked an Airbnb. I mean, that is perfectly valid. I don't think most people would put up with like getting some parents to have a say in what they do in their own bedroom at that age when you already live together as a couple. Like, come on. She said I should respect the rules of her house, and I told her I was, but I didn't want to tell my boyfriend to be alone on the holidays, and especially when his family had welcomed us together happily. After that, I made it clear there would be no coming to visit like that if I couldn't sleep with my boyfriend. My mom said it wasn't like we were married, so she had every right to that rule. Yeah, and you have every right not to show up if she makes silly rules in her own house. 2 years ago, my dad died, and for 11 months, my mom had been in a relationship with her boyfriend. They don't live together exactly, but according to my brother, he was there most night while he was still there. My mom and brother aren't really talking right now. My brother could hear mom and her boyfriend in bed and he hated it, so he moved out. He's also 22 and had wanted to, but it gave him the push to actually move. My mom was furious and demanded to know why he was leaving out of nowhere, and she freaked when brother told her he was tired of hearing them. It started mom off on him and not being happy for her that she found someone again after dad died. Okay, there's a vast difference between like, I'm happy you're moving on from a partner that passed away, versus I'm not super interested in living in a house where I hear this every single night when I'm trying to sleep for work. You can be happy for someone without putting up with their shit. It's a different thing. My mom seems to be missing my brother being around, and she told me she misses having her kids around her, so she wanted to visit for a week or two soon. She wanted to bring her boyfriend along, and I told her she can't share a room or bed with him in my home. I told her I don't want to hear that. She got mad at me and said she's a grown woman and should be allowed her freedom.
Oh, how the turntables!
I told her she was alright denying it to me, but I wasn't even planning to have naughties in her house. But it sounded like she doesn't care if we hear or not, and I'm not dealing with it. I also told her I wasn't going to reward her with sharing with her boyfriend when she has been so strict with me about it. My mom accused me of acting like a petty child. Am I the butthole?
Not the butt. What goes around comes around. Your mom, one rule for thee and another for me.
I mean, I can sort of get the feeling that the house feels empty and alone when everyone has moved away, for example, and she doesn't actually live with a new partner yet. Of course, that would feel a bit empty, but she also sounds kind of insufferable. Like, what, she's angry at your brother for moving out when he's 22? And now she's angry that you're imposing the same rules in your house that she had in hers. It's like, come on. She sounds kind of insufferable. Well, laddies, lasses, and lasses, I do hope you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed having you here. And remember to get the Gaycation Emotional Support Team, a link in the description available for a short time. Have a great rest of your day, wonderful, beautiful beings, and I will see you in the near future. Take care. Mwah.